Wow. Prayer and ritual are so important. Greetings. Happy Scorpio Full Moon. Rainbow warriors, bird tribes, whoever and whatever sect of life that you believe yourself to be attributed to, how are you? It is the Scorpio full moon, and I am committing again to creating these videos, full moon videos, for all of us, you. This transformation cycle that I feel that I have recently gone through the shift. If you have watched my previous videos, you know that I went on a transformational journey, and I feel like that archetype, that part is solidified. I am feeling my roots once again, and I am ready to be of service. So, how are you? Full moon weekend in May 2017 at the time of this video, but we have undergone a transformational journey, a healing journey. I feel all of us probably that this video is reaching have gone through a transformational shift and all of that process and that rooting, and now in May we're feeling ourselves again and starting this process that will probably continue through the summer. I haven't really gotten a lot of hits yet about what the summer has in store for us, but I know these August eclipses are going to really solidify us again into this new second phase of Ascension that we are embarking on, and are still a little bit in the transitional shift. But today I want to talk to you about, you'll see the title of this video and the article is quite interesting. It's talking about how to not lose your shit while you go through an Ascension upgrade. So as we're talking about this transformational journey and the cycle, that window that we just went through, it was a lot of up and downs, up and down, and roller coaster, and right side up, and what side is. So I think it's poignant to talk about how do we stay centered as we go through these journeys, and I will attempt to offer you some solid practical guidance in order to do so. So the first thing I want to talk about is the fact that we are really going through these shifts in consciousness, and these shifts in consciousness are purgative in a way, because in order to embody and create a new reality in this world, we have to let go of old beliefs. that no longer serve us, to use New Age jargon. And the old beliefs that no longer serve us have to come up and out of us some way in our psyche. When that happens, when we go through these transformational periods, when we go through an acceleration of consciousness on our journey, when our guides shifts and change, when we go through a solar return like our birthday cycle, or a Saturn return, or other astrological transits like eclipses or anything else we go through, we feel very, and especially those of us who are very sensitive on this earth, we can feel very disoriented and out of our center. And so how do we remain in our center while we're going through these shifts? And a lot of it is remembering that we are going through these shifts, but I don't know if it's even possible. I'm listening now. Is it even possible? A big part of awakening into a new reality of consciousness, as I said, is letting go of the old. And as we let go of that old reality and experience the shamanic death cycle of who we were before, and feeling that I hope you heard the train. You hear the train? That freak out, right? That freak out that happens when we're like, something that was in me is dying. And it's like, stop, put on the brakes. You're not really ready. And I made a video about like going through these Dharma gates and the portals, you know? When we're going through times of transition, or we're tested, or whatever that is that takes us into the new level of consciousness, we can definitely freak out because, number one, we're going into the unknown and experiencing a shamanic death, meaning it's a death in the same life cycle. So we're in this same life and we're letting go and we're dying to that old way of life and that old way of being, and then like the phoenix, rebirthing ourselves into a new transformational cycle of consciousness so that our train can keep moving and going from one station to the next. So it's important to allow these transformational processes to come through us, to move through us, like just like those alarm bells that go off, like the train, you know, that stop the brakes, and we're freaking out and we can feel disconnected from our bodies. We can feel disoriented, out of center. And from that feeling out of center, we will then judge the experience and it'll take us even more out of center. So a really good way to stay in our center is to remember that we are going through these alignments and these shift in frequencies, and that once that purging process is complete, we will be brought back to ourselves. A big truth that I recognized was that as we defragment and clear out, you know, the hard disk of our psyche, of our consciousness, of our, you know, our mental sphere, our emotional sphere, the koshas as they call them in the Hindu, like wisdom body, you know, mental body, emotional body, physical body can be, sometimes you get sick and you have to take downtime to have these purges, these cleanses. But what happens afterwards? You feel very healthy and restored and realigned and renewed, and you feel like you are having a new beginning. And so we have to remember that these cycles, that these processes, that they happen, these shifts in consciousness happen, and this dismantling process that happens is for our growth and our benefit, and it is not happening to us, and we are not victims of it. I think that's a very important shift for all of us to consider and to make. And if we can remember that this is what cyclically happens, but as I was saying, I'm not even sure if that's a part of the process. I think the forgetting and the remembering is a part of the process, because that dismantling that happens has to happen, and so our practices won't work. The yoga, the meditation that we do every day, it will become dull. We will feel disconnected from ourselves. And I want to say two things on that. I want to say that as we go through these changes, you know, and when we're attuned to a higher frequency, our guides will shift sometimes. And I remember my dear friend George, who is probably watching over all of us somewhere, who is one of my spiritual teachers. He said that when we go through these transformations, we become disoriented because our guides are shifting. And as our guides shift, a leaf just fell. That makes me happy because it's like, you know, communing with the spirits. So as our guides shift and we feel disoriented, and it's the same thing when we go through these transformational cycles. And my acupuncturist said, and this brings me to another note that's really good for our healing, is acupuncture, receiving body work, energy work. When you are feeling like you are losing your shit, go contact somebody that you trust and allow them to create a safe container for you, a sacred space to bring you back into alignment. Spirit will do that. Spirit will do that for you as you listen and attune yourself to what is being presented for you, what is actually being purged from your psyche. So if I was gonna like recognize the steps, I would say this. First, allow yourself to remember that you're going through a transformational process. Try not to judge it. Don't judge that you're feeling off center. Understand that these transformational processes are what will bring us back to our center. Listen deeply to what is being asked of you to clear out of your psyche, because once you listen, you will feel renewed. Once you listen and understand the message, you will transmute the energy. And that transmutation of the energy is what brings you back to your center and what allows you to spiral up, to level up to the next rung of the spiral and keep going and going and going higher into ascension. That's what this ascension process is. And then the other thing is to go out in nature. Go to the mountains, go to the ocean, go to the trees, and like listen. That's where you listen, and that's where you commune and communicate and ask for clarity. Ask your guides to come to you. Tell them that you don't know what's going on. Don't go call everybody else you know and like ask what's going on. Go straight to the source. Go to nature. Go to yourself. And because that's really what's happening, is it's a transmutation process of realignment with the self, and yourself in God, yourself in your higher spirit, yourself in the also your guides and such are guiding you and aligning you to lose yourself so you can find yourself. And then to bring it back to acupuncture is go get body work done and go to someone who can create a sacred container for you and bring you back down into your body. It is so important for those of us who are the Rainbow Warriors of the Light. We are like the star card in the tarot deck. We are the bridges, right, from this intergalactic, interdimensional reality. We are charged with the gift and the task of bringing these talents like music, art, poetry, dance, cosmic energy, right, frequencies that are not of this earth, to this earth, in service to this earth, in service to love and higher consciousness. That is why we have incarnated. That is why we are here. But we can only do this when we are fully showing up in our bodies. And a lot of us check out a lot, myself included. We lose ourselves, we lose our bodies, we go into the astral realms because that is where we're comfortable, because that is where we're from. We are star people. And it is really important for these grounding practices like energy work, healing work, chakra work, body work, therapy, talking, intuitive readings, channeling, acupuncture is like a lifesaver. Prayer meditation, yes, for sure. Yoga, of course. But these, I feel like the ones that work directly with the subtle body, like energy work and acupuncture, and there's even like Rolfing and the access consciousness, the bars, and sound healing modalities, of course, singing and music and kirtan and all of these beautiful things that bring us into harmonic vibration with ourselves, each other, and the sound of the earth, the planet, the cosmos themselves are singing. So it is very important to be attuned. Everything is vibration, so attune yourself to the cosmos. And the other beautiful thing that my acupuncturist told me was how not to lose your shit, right? So, but also that it's okay when you do, because how are you going to lose your shit without actually letting it go? And that I thought was so beautiful. So shout out to Kelly Kesson. She's at High Five Acupuncture in Boulder, and I love her. All right, so what else can I say? Multidimensional consciousness, Rainbow Warriors of the Light, we are here to bring that, and we need to fully embody ourselves. We really are charged with that gift of like what it is to show up for each other, to show up and be present, to serve love, to commit to our dharma, to our service, which we all made these transformational journeys in order to really do and be and show up, and now is the time. So, aho. I truly hope that this serves you in some way. This is my dharma and my service, and I commit to doing these full moon videos. Yes, now that I have transitioned into this place and my roots are starting to feel like deepening into the earth, and I'm really coming back into myself, my body, and my true nature, and I hope that you are doing the same. And if you would like a reading or a channeling or a tuning to your own frequency or a healing session, please feel free to reach out to me, michelle@infiniteeverything.net. Send me an email, and I am happy to serve you in a healing capacity in whatever way that you need. So, aho, namaste, and so it is. In love, light, and rainbow warrior spirit. This is Michelle Infinity. All love, all one. Namaste. Yeah, 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 yeah.